Greetings. My name is Anita Ponder. I am the CEO and General Counsel of Ponder Diversity Group, the social equity contractor for the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. I'm pleased to be here with my colleague, Dragomir Savetinov, who's the managing counsel for Ponder Diversity Group, and we want to thank you for your interest in participating in the Social Equity and Cannabis Program of Washington State. I'd like to start by telling you the role of the social equity contractor. We will review social equity applications from all applicants who seek to participate in the Social Equity and Cannabis Program. We will review, score, and rank all applications. We'll request and review application and supporting documents, as well as review outstanding information. We will also verify all information provided by the applicants and provide a list to the board of applicants who qualify and those who do not qualify. Lastly, we will prepare a final list in order of their qualification. Now I would like to tell you the social equity applicant requirements. To be considered to participate in the Social Equity and Cannabis Program, certain requirements must be met by each applicant. At least 51% majority of controlling interest in the applicant must be held by a person or persons who has or have resided in Washington State for 6 months prior to the application date and meets at least two of the following three qualifications. Qualification number one, the social equity applicant or applicants have lived in a disproportionately impacted area in Washington State for a minimum of 5 years between 1980 and 2010. Or qualification two, the social equity applicant or a family member of the applicant has been arrested or convicted of a cannabis offense. Or qualification three, the social equity applicant's household income in the year prior to submitting the application was less than the median household income within the state of Washington as calculated by the United States Census Bureau. There are additional requirements to participate in the program. Applicants must be at least 21 years old. Individual or married couple may not be a true party of interest in more than 5 retail cannabis licenses. True party of interest refers to individuals that have ownership in a cannabis license, business, receive profit from the business, and/or exercise control of the business. Lastly, individual or married couple may not be a true party of interest in both a cannabis retail license and a cannabis producer or processor license. All cannabis retail applicants must meet these additional requirements to participate in the program. Now I'd like to discuss how applicants should submit their social equity application. Step number one, applicants should begin by registering with the State of Washington Business Licensing Service in the Washington Department of Revenue during the 30-day application period. Applicants may apply for a cannabis license only once during the open application period. Step two, when the 30-day application window is closed, the contractor, us, will evaluate all applications using the qualifications and scoring rubric in the rule. We will receive the contact information of applicants and invite them to participate and to complete their electronic online application. Applicants will receive an email message asking them to create a password for their electronic application, complete the application, and upload supporting documentation, and submit the application and documentation to us via the electronic application system. Step 3. After the applicant's password has been created, the applicant must promptly complete the online application and upload their supporting documentation. Applicants have a maximum of 15 days to complete this step, but are encouraged to submit their documentation promptly. The electronic system will not permit applicants to complete the application process and submit their application until each question in the application has been answered and supporting documentation has been uploaded to verify their responses. Step 4. Applicants will receive automated messages during the application process, such as when they are invited to apply, reminders to complete their application, when they have completed their application, and when the process is completed, to keep them informed of the status of their application. Step 5. We will contact the applicant directly to request additional documentation if it is required to be submitted. All documentation must be uploaded and submitted in a timely manner. Applicants should send all information documents directly to us, not to the board or the Licensing and Regulation Division. To be considered to participate in the Social Equity in Cannabis program, each applicant must adhere to the application submittal requirements. WSLCB will open the application window for an initial period of 30 calendar days. Application for a business license must be submitted via the Department of Revenue's business licensing website within the 30-day application window. Next, applicants will be invited to complete the social equity application by the social equity contractor. Social equity applicants may apply for a cannabis license only once during each window. When the application window is closed, the social equity contractor will evaluate and prioritize all applications. If additional information and/or documents are required, the social equity contractor will notify the applicant electronically. Applicants should send all information and documents directly to the social equity contractor, not to WSLCB. Once the social equity contractor's job is complete, WSLCB will make the final decision.
Hello, my name is Dragomir Svetanov, and I will continue by discussing the application requirements. To be considered to participate in the Social Equity in Cannabis program, each applicant must submit the following information and documents in their application to us. They have to select one county where they would like to operate their business. They have to submit documentation verifying that they meet each of the eligibility requirements. Required documentation is specified in the application document checklist. If additional materials are needed, the applicant will receive a letter electronically from us requesting that the applicant submit additional application documents. The applicant must submit complete and accurate additional application materials directly to us within 15 days of the date of the letter. It is the responsibility of the applicant to comply with the application requirements and ensure that their application is complete, accurate, and successfully submitted in a timely manner. Application questions are intended to request information from the applicant that will be evaluated by us to determine whether the applicant meets the social equity requirements. Some of the questions may include: does the social equity applicant have a person or persons who A, holds at least 51% majority or controlling interest in the applicant, B, has or have resided in Washington State for 6 months prior to the application date, and C, meets at least two of the following three qualifications. Qualification 1. The social equity applicant or applicants have lived in a DIA in Washington State for a minimum of 5 years between 1980 and 2010. Qualification number 2. The social equity applicant or family member of the applicant has been arrested or convicted of a cannabis offense. Qualification number 3. The social equity applicant's household income in the year prior to submitting the application was less than the median household income within the state of Washington as calculated by the U.S. Census Bureau. Other questions include, how long has the social equity applicant lived in a DIA? Has the social equity applicant been arrested for a drug offense other than cannabis? Has the social equity applicant's family member been arrested for a drug offense other than cannabis? If the social equity applicant was convicted of a cannabis offense, what type of sentence did the social equity applicant receive? Continuing on, other questions include, did the social equity applicant's family members' incarceration keep them from employment? Did the social equity applicant lose their home or ability to purchase a home because of their convictions or arrests? Did the social equity applicant own or operate a medical cannabis dispensary or collective garden licensed as a business prior to July 1st, 2016? Did the social equity applicant own and operate a medical cannabis dispensary or collective garden licensed as a business in a DIA? The document checklist provides guidance to applicants regarding the supporting documentation that may be submitted to us, which we will use to verify information provided in the application and determine whether the applicant meets the social equity requirements. Some acceptable documents include school records or student identification, leases or rental agreements, utility bills, mortgage statements, statements from individuals who can verify the applicant's address history, and property tax information. Other documents may include loan documents, bank records, tax returns that indicate the applicant's address or addresses, or a signed declaration that includes the applicant's address or addresses, indicating that the applicant resided in a DIA, applicant's arrest or conviction records, or family members' arrests or conviction records, affirmation of the familial relationship signed by the applicant and the family member, tax returns of applicant demonstrating their income in the prior year, and other documentation which verifies eligibility. In order to score and rank applications, the board has devised this scoring rubric to help us. I'll go through each category. As you can see, each category has a question that can gain a maximum of points that are listed on the right side of the scale. And the first question is, how long has the applicant lived in a disproportionately impacted area? You can get a maximum of 40 points for this question. The next question, how long did that person live in a DIA? Again, you can get another maximum score of 40 points for that question. Next, was the applicant convicted of a drug offense? For 10 points. Part of that question is, was it a cannabis offense? Next, was their family member convicted of a drug offense? And then again, convicted of a cannabis offense. You can see those points on the right. If they were convicted of a cannabis offense, what was the sentence that they received? And you can see that the points go all the way up to 80, but you can get different points depending on what the sentence was. Did the family member's incarceration keep the applicant from getting employment? Did the applicant lose their home or the ability to purchase a home as a result of their convictions or arrests? Is the applicant's household median income less than the median household income within the state of Washington as calculated by the U.S. Census Bureau? And then, did the applicant own or operate a medical cannabis dispensary or collective garden licensed as a business prior to July 1st? And do they or have they held 51% majority controlling interest in a state cannabis retailer license? And you can see those points on the right. So what are the next steps? The social equity contractor, us, will determine whether the applicant meets the eligibility requirements. If the applicant meets the requirements, their participation in the program will depend on their application score and ranking. Eligibility does not guarantee participation. After we have determined that the requirements have been met, we will score each applicant using the board scoring rubric to prioritize applicants. We will provide the board with a list of eligible and scored social equity applicants. Social equity contractor, us, and our employees are prohibited from benefiting in any licenses that are granted, so we cannot participate in the program. Applicants that are scored highest by us within the county they select will be processed by the board. Ties within a county will be decided by a double-blind lottery. After the applications have been processed and identified, eligible applicants will be issued a preliminary letter of approval. A few notes on communications with us. Applicants must comply with all of the application requirements and ensure that their application is complete, accurate, and successfully submitted to us in a timely manner, and that's within 15 days of initial contact by us. If additional information and/or documents are required to be submitted by the applicant after the application is submitted, the applicant will receive a notification electronically from us. If the applicant receives a request from us for additional information and/or documents, they must timely submit that information and/or documents to us within 14 business days of the notification. Applicants must submit questions to us via email to socialequitycontractor@pdg-law.com.
Now, I would like to answer some frequently asked questions. Question: who will review my social equity application? The answer is we, the social equity contractor at Ponder Diversity Group, will review, validate, and score all of the applications submitted. All of our attorneys have a law practice that focuses on developing and implementing supplier diversity and related programs and initiatives that promote minority and women businesses as well as diverse communities. Next question: how can I obtain the application to complete? Answer: applicants should go to the Social Equity Contractor website to access and complete the online application and to upload their supporting documents. Question: may I submit multiple applications as long as I have a majority ownership interest in only one cannabis business enterprise that applies? The answer is no. You may not submit multiple applications under any circumstances. Each applicant is permitted to submit only one application for a social equity license. Question: where can I go if I need assistance in completing my application? Answer: after applying through business licensing services, the social equity contractor is the point of contact until scored and ranked applications are given over to WSLCB. Applicants should reach out to any technical assistance organization or agency in Washington state. We have identified a number of technical assistant organizations and agencies that may be able to provide you application assistance. Question: may I submit a hard copy of the application and supporting documents if I don't have access to a computer? Answer: unfortunately not. If you don't have access to a computer, you should make arrangements to submit your application and upload your supporting documents at a technical assistance agency. Question: may I select more than one preferred jurisdiction? The answer is no. Each applicant is permitted to select only one preferred jurisdiction. Question: how do I know which documents I should submit with my application? Answer: the application includes detailed instructions and a document checklist which provides applicants guidance about the documents to submit to verify the information in their application. Question: who will have access to my application and supporting documents? Answer: the confidentiality of your application and supporting documents are very important to WSLCB and the social equity contractor. Only persons who are affiliated with the social equity contractor that are directly involved in the evaluation, verification, scoring, and/or ranking of your application will have access to your application and supporting documents. Question: will I be informed of any missing documents and allowed to submit them? If yes, how will I be informed? Answer: yes. The social equity contractor will inform you via an electronic notification if your application is missing any information and/or documents. You must respond to requests for additional information and documents in a timely manner and no later than 14 business days. Question: May I or my advocate meet with or call the social equity contractor to discuss my application? The answer is no. We are not meeting in person or telephonically with applicants or their advocates in order to maintain the integrity of the application process and prevent any applicant from obtaining a competitive advantage. However, applicants may submit questions about the application process to us at socialequitycontractor@pdg-law.com. Responses will be provided via email by us within 2 business days. Question: Who developed the scoring rubric? Answer: As Dragomir indicated, the scoring rubric was developed as well as approved by the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. Question: Does the social equity contractor have to use or follow the rubric to evaluate and score all applications? And the answer is yes. We must use the rubric to evaluate and score all applications. We cannot change or modify the rubric. Question: How long will it take the social equity contractor to complete their evaluation of each application? Answer: The evaluation time will vary depending on whether a complete application is submitted. We are allowing approximately 3 months for an application to be processed after the submittal of a complete application with all of the required supporting documentation. Question: How will the social equity contractor ensure that the evaluation process is fair to all applicants? Answer: We will use the rubric to evaluate and score all applications. We will also seek to verify information in each application by reviewing the supporting documentation submitted and, in some cases, using available legal research platforms and tools. Question: Do I have to be a racial minority to get a social equity license? The answer is no. Individuals of any race are welcome to apply for a social equity license if they meet the requirements for social equity applicants. Individuals do not need to be a racial minority to apply for or to receive a social equity license. Question: Who makes the final decision on my social equity application? Answer: The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board makes the final decision on all applications. Question: What is the next step after a final decision is made on my social equity application? Answer: Applicants will be notified in writing of the final decision of the board regarding their social equity license. Question: What can I do if I am not allowed to proceed to the next step in the application process? Answer: An applicant or licensee may request an administrative hearing to contest the disposition of its application for a social equity license. Question: If I am not granted a social equity license, may I submit another application during the next window? If yes, when is the next window? Yes. The date of the next window has not been established by the board. When it is established, it will be promptly publicized on the website of the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. Question: If my family member was arrested or convicted for cannabis, can we both submit an application? The answer is yes. You and your family member may submit an application jointly or separately, provided that both of you are a true party of interest in only one application. Question: Can we obtain a copy of this PowerPoint presentation? Yes, you can. This PowerPoint presentation will be posted on the website of the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board and the Social Equity Contractor for you to review and download. So now that I've answered frequently asked questions, I want to give you some application guidance tips. We call these best practices. First, make sure that you carefully review the applicant eligibility requirements in the Washington Administrative Code before you commence the application process. Secondly, do not select more than one preferred jurisdiction. Third, submit a complete application with payment pursuant to the specified instructions with all of the required information in the document checklist within the 30-day application window. Fourth, do not leave any blank spaces in your application and respond to each question in the application. If a question does not apply to you, be sure to specify NA and briefly indicate why it does not apply. Next, submit questions via email regarding the application process to us at socialequitycontractor@pdg.com. As we stated, responses will be provided via email within 2 business days. Please do not attempt to contact us by telephone unless you're asked to return a call from us. Best practices continued. Make sure that all information in your application and supporting documents is complete, accurate, current, and successfully submitted. Information provided by applicants will be verified for accuracy. Each completed application must be signed by an authorized representative of the applicant. Respond to requests for additional information and/or documents in a timely manner and no later than 14 business days of the date of the letter or the notification. Allow approximately 3 months for your application to be processed after submitting a complete application with all the required supporting documentation. Applicants who submit complete applications and meet the eligibility requirements are not guaranteed to be granted a social equity license. I repeat, applicants who submit completed applications and meet the eligibility requirements are not guaranteed to be granted a social equity license. Applicants who meet the eligibility requirements will be scored and ranked by using the WSLCB scoring rubric. Applicants will be notified in writing of the final decision of the board regarding the decision of their social equity license. An applicant or licensee may request an administrative hearing to contest the withdrawal or denial of a social equity license. Please do not submit multiple applications. Applicants will be required to withdraw applications that are submitted after their first application, which will be the only application reviewed. Lastly, visit the website of the board for additional information regarding the Social Equity in Cannabis program. This is the end of our PowerPoint presentation. Thank you again for your interest in participating in the WSLCB Social Equity in Cannabis program. For those of you who participated in the workshops, we want you to know that they were just intended to be a guidance reference to help and assist you with your participation in the program. Those workshops were intended to promote high professional and business standards and right conduct, as well as consistency and standardization, but they do not reflect or represent every conceivable issue or question that may arise during the application process. Applicants were not and are not required to attend any of the Social Equity in Cannabis program workshops. Participation was encouraged, but again, they're not required in order to get a social equity license. WSLCB and the social equity contractor are committed to advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion in Washington State via its social equity and cannabis program. This is an amazing opportunity for qualified applicants. For additional information about the program, please see the program rules, which are publicly available. Thank you again for your interest in participating in the program, and all the best to you during the application process.